The Work Items Explorer in Agile-Team is the main tool for editing and inspecting the projects and work items. The Work Items Explorer is a powerful and flexible tool, which can filter and present the project data in ways that are tailored to the specific roles, project types and use cases. You can save a MS Windows shortcut to any view that you have customized. Just use the menu command Favorites, Add Current View. The selector is used for a quick filtering in the project dimensions. If we select both a project node and a resource node, then we will see only work items for this project node, where the resource is either assigned resource, or have made some time reports. If you cannot understand why you don't get the expected list of work items, then look down in the status line, which shows which selections you have made, and which filter you are using. When we move selection in the resource dimension back to the top, all resources will be included again. We can remove a column by right-click and selecting Hide Column. We can add new columns with the Column Picker toolbar button. Let us try to enable a couple of columns and press the Apply button. And we can now see the data for the two new columns. We can sort on a column by clicking on the header of the column. When we click on the column header multiple times, we can see that the sorting changes upwards and downwards. We can sort on extra column by holding down the Shift key before we click on the column header. We can resize a column by dragging on the divider bar between the columns. We can set columns to a minimal size by double-clicking on the column divider. We can set all columns in a band to a minimal size by clicking on a divider in the band. We can move a column to a different position by dragging it to the new position. We can also move an entire band to a different position by dragging it to the new position. There is currently a restriction that you cannot move columns outside the band they belongs to. If you right-click on a column header, you can choose to group on a column. It is possible to group on several columns. You will see that many columns are summed by the grouping columns. This includes both the time columns and, as example, the resource columns. You can change the grouping by drag and dropping the grouping items. You can right-click on a grouping item to collapse or expand all nodes for this item. Also, the toolbar has two buttons to expand and collapse all nodes. When the auto-refresh button is turned on, then every selection will cause an update of the work item list. Let us try to turn it off. Now we can make several changes like selecting project node, and apply a view, and the Explorer is not updated before we press F2 to apply, or if we have focus in the Explorer and press F5 to refresh. Whether to use auto-refresh or not is mainly a matter of taste. The Hide Zero is often useful to hide rows with zero values. It is a setting you can turn on and off. You can inspect historic time reports by means of the time period columns. Let us first activate a few more weeks, and then select last 4 weeks. When we press Apply and OK, there are extra week columns in the Explorer, and we can inspect what has been done the last 4 weeks. Note that we are here using a filter that gives only work items that has some values for the time period columns. With the Filter toolbar button, we can change the filtering of which work items we see. As example, we can apply a filter called Active, which will show us all work items that are marked active. Or we can apply a filter called My Tasks, that will show active work items assigned to the current user. We can also try to create a little custom filter. We will select Use Logical Expression. And then we will select a property called Resource Assigned. And specify that this must be current user. This will then show all work items assigned to the current user. The current view can conveniently be changed by the toolbar button. It is also possible to change the view by the Current View menu. If we select the menu entry Customize Current View, then we can see all the information that is stored in the view. Which columns to show, groupings, sorting, filtering, whether Gantt is visible or not, as well as more advanced settings for formatting data in the columns. We can save the current view for later use by the menu entry Save View As. It is possible to save views both for private use, and as public for others to use it. When you click on the Activities button, you can see the activities for the work items. This is relevant if you use multiple activities, then you can see who each activity is assigned to. The basic entity of Agile-Team is actually activities. When you remove all groupings, you will just see a list of activities. So you should normally at least group on work item. With the Gantt toolbar button, it is possible to enable the Gantt pane, to inspect the timeline for any view of projects and work items in the Explorer. You can push the Charts toolbar button, to visualize the data you have in the Work Item Explorer. The distribution chart will show the distribution of the grouping column, based on one or more numeric columns. There are a large number of chart types to select from, and many options for these chart types to choose from, to display the charts as you find it optimal.